First of all, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. How's this for a title that will surely not send notifications out? Suicide, Mundane Matt, Ron Toye, BDSM, SJW girls who are subs to right-wing boys, not safe for work, and language warning. That probably doesn't work too well on YouTube. If this video doesn't apply to you or it's going to piss you off, just don't watch it. If the topic triggers you, click off. Though I don't know why you clicked on it in the first place with the title like that. I was listening to a YouTube personality. Obviously, I won't say their name, and don't say their name in the comments. If you know who I'm talking about, maybe I am way off base about them. But the general red flags I'm going to cover apply to everyone. Of course, I am not a medical expert. I am just some idiot on the internet. I have no medical training, and this isn't intended to diagnose or treat any disease. You need to talk to a medical professional for that. I was listening to this guy, and he made a joke about suicide. Now, one joke about suicide isn't an issue, and it all depends on the context. Multiple jokes about suicide start to raise concerns. Other things to consider are high-risk behavior and drug and alcohol use. How often does someone drink to excess? Is it routine? Do they add high-risk behavior on top of the drinking? I mean, are they just getting drunk on a live stream and then just going right to bed? Or are they going out running around a busy city? Other high-risk behavior, really anything a bit weird that they do while drunk. Like, I don't know, playing with power tools or cleaning firearms or making a video in a car in a garage and running the engine. Because that's how you commit suicide. It's not a mistake any adult should make. That raises an absolute red flag. It's not like just getting drunk or just making suicide jokes. It's the totality of the circumstances. It's all these little warning signs in combination. Other signs are divorce, job loss, or death of a loved one. These can all put you in a risky state of mind. I made this video because I observed several of these warning signs in this person's social media. They made too many suicide jokes combined with excessive drinking and high-risk behavior. You're probably thinking, Bianca, don't be such a pussy. Everyone gets shit-faced on live streams. Well, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But it's everything combined. And hey, if I'm wrong, no harm, no foul. But if some of these warning signs apply to you, if you have thoughts of self-harm, there is good news. There are solutions available. There's group therapy, 12-step programs for chemical dependency, individual therapy, and medications. If you're dead broke, there are low-cost options available. But if you have a suspicion that you need help, there is no time like the present, especially if you are a man. Your risk of suicide is much greater than a woman's, and it's harder for a man to ask for help. But here's the thing. You deserve to get better. You're worth it. I know how gay all this sounds, and if this pisses you off, it might be hitting too close to home. So if you have someone who is isolated, drinks too much, engages in risky behavior, and jokes about suicide, it raises some red flags. God, these soy boys are hard to look at. Obviously, it's up to the individual to get help. Just keep in mind, there is help out there, and it's not an insurmountable task. Getting help is the easier, softer path. Okay, enough of making everyone feel very uncomfortable, or, the half-dozen people who will click on this video. Not that I'm begging for likes, but I'm begging for likes. Shilling harder than Mundane Matt. Hey, turn off that pesky ad blocker. It's funny, when Ethan was getting started, he and Boulder Boy were arguing about something, and Matt had a lot of subs, over 160,000, I think, and EVS was coming up. But Matt said he wasn't worried about EVS. Now Matt is dropping subs, and EVS is gaining subs and subscriptions, and super chats and Patreon and whatever else. Oh, if you want examples of other soy boys, well, other than Chuck Wendig, take a look at Tim Doyle. If you just DuckDuckGo image search him, you'll find his bikini shots. Or search Tim Doyle on YouTube. It's kind of funny, though. To his credit, he has lost a whole lot of weight, so congratulations for that. Yeah, that open mouth thing. Stop it. Mundane Matt sort of abandoned his original channel. If you check it out, you see the dislikes are off the chart, and he gets roasted in the comments. Part of his problem is obviously that he tries to get videos that are critical of him taken down. That is a little bit petty. His other issue is he is sort of a closet SJW. but he tries to ride the fence, and fence riders have a hard time on social media. If you're on the right or the left, it's probably better to just be upfront about it. People don't like to feel betrayed. The rule of thumb is be honest, but set boundaries. Toye. Why do SJWs always project? Why does it turn out that SJWs are actually the most racist and sexist? There's a meme that shows a countdown timer at 0. It's the days since a male feminist attacked a woman. They are famous for it. It's not a right-wing conspiracy theory. Left-wing men seem to really hate women. So why do they camouflage themselves as feminists? Because it's what sociopaths do. I don't know if SJW men actually hate women. I think they hate everything and everyone. Women are just easy victims. From what I observed, male feminists seem to resent women because they act like they deserve women to fall over them because they are allies. But soy boys put out vibes like Toye. Nothing dries up a vagina faster than another pussy. Most of the time, even left-wing girls will date and happily marry right-wing guys because soy boys are such a turnoff for them. Soy boys act like women, but even more whiny. In fact, you will find many women who are very far left and pro-feminism online actually are very docile and subservient with their right-of-center boyfriends. Another thing about lefty girls. Many of them are what is known as subs in the BDSM community. At home, they want to be subservient to a strong man, and soy boys aren't strong men. And I don't mean physical strength, I mean force of will. Confidence is very, very sexy in both sexes. And dominant doesn't mean emotionally abusive. The dom must always be very emotionally supportive. You will see these firebrand SJW girls online who will go home and get spanked or caned by their right-wing boyfriends because the dominance excites them. I'm not just a shitlord talking out of my ass. I know this from personal experience. The thing is, soy boys aren't dominant, they are submissive, but they are incredibly resentful about it. So soy boys have a lot of anger towards women. They think that because they are politically correct SJWs, the women should throw pussy at them. But even lefty girls don't like lefty guys. There are some fit, confident lefty guys out there, but they are very rare, and they get the majority of left-wing poon. It's like the 80-20 rule, but for lefties it's more like 90-10. A tiny percentage of lefty guys are getting all the granola girls, and that's why the guys are all in open relationships, because they can be. They absolutely control the relationship. Do these girls want to be in an open relationship or polyamorous? Not usually, but they don't have a choice. That's why so many of them give up on soy boys and date right-wingers. It's like an open secret. But when they talk about their boyfriends, they play it down. Yeah, he's on the right, but not that far right. Except it turns out that many of her lefty girlfriends also have right-wing boyfriends. Why so many soy boys abuse women? It's a combination of factors. There is so much untreated mental illness among SJWs. They are self-hating. They hate the fathers they don't have. They hate the way they look so much that they are trying to push body diversity, health at every size, because they all overeat. It's funny to realize that the best thing you can do for the environment is simply to eat less. Eat fewer small packages, reduce trash, reduce your carbon footprint. If you buy 30-pound sacks of beans and rice, you have significantly reduced your carbon footprint. So the SJW solution to being fat and unattractive is not to simply eat better, but to try to change the world, not themselves. SJWs hate the thought of changing themselves. After all, why should they change? They are perfect. They know what is best for you. They think they are perfect because when they grew up, they all got gold stars. They all got participation trophies. They never actually earned anything. Their liberal teachers have always told them that everything was someone else's fault. It was always the patriarchy or European people's fault. They have no agency. They are merely at the whim of other people's machinations. The focus on self-esteem started a few decades ago, and it has produced Antifa and soy boys. It has completely unprepared them for healthy relationships with the opposite sex. Why do you think you see the rise of same-sex relationships and the explosion of trans kids? It's because the kids don't know who they are. They have simultaneously been told by their parents that they are amazing, but their teachers have told them that European people are evil. So the kids know that if they can get more oppression points, they won't be the bad guys anymore. So they call themselves pan, non-binary, queer, trans, whatever. They will claim anything to move up on the oppression ladder. That's why there are so many trans trenders. Remember, kids, you can't unsuck a dick or unlick a pussy. Of course, there are real trannies out there because I have sat down and talked to them. And yes, they all told me to call them trannies. They aren't PC. A few things I've learned is that trans people really like sex and drugs, so they're pretty much like the rest of us. Anyway, the SJWs always project their evils. The joke is they accuse you of what they are guilty of. They always accuse us normies of racism because they are racist. Look at the right-wing First and Second Amendment or Christian groups. We are diverse. Compare that to Antifa, zero diversity. The SJWs are guilty of the soft bigotry of lowered expectations. They apply different standards to different groups of people. That is the literal definition of racism. The soy boys have these weird controlling power fantasies about their partners, which would seem to go against their belief dogma. I think soy boys see themselves as the hero of the story. That would explain their constant violent fantasies about punching Nazis. Plot twist, anyone who disagrees with them is one, because liberals get the bullet too. So they end up attacking women, children, and small groups of minorities because for some reason they never seem to be able to find the Hells Angels. Why can't Antifa find the Hells Angels or the pagans? Can't they schedule an appointment? Maybe a brunch? Perhaps have a rumble? Excuse me, biker gang, can we arrange a fight? Because we would like to commit suicide. Call it death by a 300-pound biker. It's odd, Antifa can never seem to find the Hells Angels. I just can't figure it out. I guess beating up gay Asian reporters is an easier task. Another funny thing about soy boys like Ron Toye is that they always seem to get their comeuppance. Karma is a bitch for soy people because they always have skeletons in their closet. It's called the Trump curse, but it's really just God smacking them down for their hypocrisy. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Check out Flying Sparks 3 on Kickstarter. I'll put a link in the description, and I'll take a quick look at it in the next episode. See you then.